want to bring in now attorneys Gloria Allred and Lisa Bloom. Good evening. Thank you, mother and daughter, by the way. I just want to make sure I say that, Gloria, because Gloria, you know, there'll be an issue if I don't say that. So, Gloria, listen, let's talk about Summer Zervos. I mean, her press conference today, her story was riveting. You just heard the Apprentice contestant from season 5. You're hearing all these women. Tell us why your client came forward.
Well, she came forward, Don, because of the Access Hollywood tapes, the Billy Bush on the bus tapes that we all heard and saw last Friday. And that really hit a nerve with her. And then combine that with his denial that he has ever acted on those vulgar, crude, disgusting words that he used that I don't even want to repeat on television, that about women, that he essentially grabbed them, and he denied that in the debate with Hillary Rodham Clinton. That was a tipping point. Mm-hmm. She knew and that she needed to come forward. I might add that you know, this was a very difficult decision for her. She didn't want to do it, but she really felt compelled to do it. Mm-hmm. And he does not deny knowing her. In fact, he issued a statement this afternoon where he says he has a vague recollection of her. Yeah.
Let me read some of the statement. This was just a minute ago. I'll just read some of the statement, and then if we have it, you can put it up. But it says, "I vaguely remember Ms. Zervos as one of the many contestants on The Apprentice over the years. To be clear, I never met her at a hotel or greeted her inappropriately a decade ago. That is not who I am as a person, and it is not how I've conducted my life. In fact, Ms. Zervos continued to contact me for help, emailing my office on April 14th of this year, asking that I visit her restaurant in California. Beyond that, the media is now creating a theater of absurdity that threatens to tear our democratic process apart and poison the minds of the American public." So he says it never happened. Did your client contact him for a job in April of this year?
Well, first of all, I guess maybe he didn't listen to our press conference as the press did. Because we said at the press conference that she contacted him in April of this year. But the reason that she was contacting him, and she also gave some quotes from her email, which she told the press she sent to him, was essentially that she wanted to meet with him because she wanted to have him apologize to her. This has been very hurtful to her. Mm-hmm. And she was trying to be nice and professional and have a meeting. But she did say in the email to his office that, you know, that it really kind of set her off her footing. Yeah. And hurt her. And, you know, she didn't want the secretary or anybody else that might see it to know the details. That's something she wanted to confront Donald Trump about.
And Lisa, you know, we've spoken about this case, these cases, these you know, allegations. Same thing with the Cosby case and many other cases that you and I have spoken about, and Gloria as well. Women don't come, you know, as often, or they don't tell their stories. They're not readily available to tell their stories in the beginning. It takes them a while. So the big criticism from the Trump supporters is, why are these women coming out now? So in your experience, what's the motivation for these women in these kinds of cases to finally speak out?
Well, first of all, as you know, I represent Jill Harth, who was the first one to come out with her name and her face 3 months ago. And she filed a sexual harassment case against Donald Trump in 1997. So the why didn't they say anything sooner doesn't apply to my client, Jill Harth. I've spoken to others this week who are strongly considering coming out, and it's the same reason my mom just said, which is that Donald Trump is now on the record denying groping women. And you know, I always say women have a breaking point. We put up with a lot. Almost all of us have been sexually harassed or groped by some lecherous guy in power at some point in our lives, and many of us just shrug it off and try to just put our head down and keep working. But we get to a point where we say enough is enough. And when we are called liars, when our experience is denied by a man in power, that's the point where many women come forward. And I salute all of them, like Summer, who was there with my mom today, like Jill Harth, and all the others who come forward. It's a very painful, difficult decision. Who wants to be Donald Trump's enemy? And yet these women are bravely stepping forward, and I'm very proud of all of them who are doing that.
I want to play another clip from Donald Trump, and then we'll talk about it.
The only way they figure they can slow it down is to come up with people that are willing to say, oh, I was with Donald Trump in 1980. I was sitting with him on an airplane. And he went after me on the plane. Yeah, I'm going to go after. Believe me, she would not be my first choice, that I can tell you.
So he was talking about Jessica Leeds, who he accuses him of attacking her on an airplane, and that was decades ago. I wonder what that tells you, because he's ridiculing her appearance. And also the follow-up to that question is there anything legally that any of these women can do now?
Well, I mean,
I don't know if that's to me, but can I just say something real quick?
Yeah.
Donald Trump, you're not our first choice, okay? We don't want your hands on us. None of us do. So the idea that we should be so flattered by his octopus hands on women, that's a great sign of respect because he finds us attractive. Attractiveness has nothing to do with sexual assault. I just find that highly insulting.
Yeah.
So, Don, do you think it's a complete coincidence that my daughter sounds just like me?
No, I was thinking that.
Okay, well,
On a good day.
And I'm very proud of her that she does. I just want to say, Don, that I have had many women contact me even before Donald Trump declared that he wanted to run for president, and before the Access Hollywood tapes were broadcast, and since the tapes were broadcast, and since the debate. So. I don't know if other women will come forward. I don't suggest to women that they do come forward or not. I suggest that they learn what the benefits and risks of speaking out are, and then make an informed decision for themselves as adults. And it's very important that they think about their decision before they do it. It's a challenging one. And I'm very proud of all of the women who have done it, just as Lisa is.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Gloria. Thank you, Lisa. I appreciate it.